Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be building a planner. So of like many planners. So this is going to be like a work in progress, guys. But I'm very excited to finally start this project and get ready for 2023. So many of you know, like I've been using the weekly Undated large size passion planner for 2022, and I absolutely adore it. Like, I love the cover of it. I love the setup of it, which, let's see here. So, like, this is how I started. And like, yeah, so as as you can see, like I definitely started by covering up like all of the dark label areas, which if I could find, because I should still have December. So yeah, this is what your undated large size looks like for the passion planner. And basically, like, I end up covering this up, I cover all of this up, I cover this. But I do love this section down here, and I love the white calendar grid line, and it just like makes decorating my planner, which if you didn't see it, this is my November layout. So I love how I'm able to turn it into something that I enjoy looking at, but it's also functional. So, what my dilemma is for 2023 is that, oh, kitties are on the planning station. Okay. So what my dilemma is that Passion Planner recently announced that they're changing their large size planner size. It was an A4, which is what this is, which is an 8 by, yeah, it's an 8.3 inches by 11.7 inches. So that's your typical A4 size. It's just a tad bit shorter than a letter, but it's definitely wider than a letter. Um so I mean the size difference between letter and A4 isn't really that big of a deal. I could still print off like a full size printable and stick it in here if I wanted to. So what the thing is that they changed the size of the largest starting in 2023, and they're now going to be 7.8 by 11, which I wish I would have had a cutout for this, but just, we're going to say 7.8, so that's close to 7.75, so it's probably going to be, well, I guess, hold on. Sally got to get her measurements right here because I do want to show you. So it's going to be like that much shorter, so like a thumb in this way. And it's still the same height. So it is still 11, which, let's see here. Oh, no, that's right, because this is an A4. So this is an 11.7. So that is definitely, that it's, I don't know, guys. I'm not okay with that. Like, I want the full sheet. So, I mean, in one way, it's not that big of a difference, and I am very tempted for the Moonlit Rabbit, which Moonlight Rabbit, I guess that's what it is, Moonlight Rabbit, and it's a beautiful rose gold, and it's which as you can see from the picture that I obtained from their site, it is a hardcover. The detail and the illustration of the rabbits is just absolutely gorgeous. I just like, I love everything about this cover on this planner, and like I said, I am half tempted to get it just because it is adorable and it is beautiful. But the main thing is the size. But again, like, I kind of convinced myself, I was like, okay, so the size of the planner isn't really that big of a deal. But now we come into like another issue with it, where this is the one where I was like, okay, I can't do this. And it's because since it is a 2023 planner and it is dated, I would still have the the month. So they put the months up here where they're dated, and the squares that are like of a previous month or the following month, they're grayed out. And that to me, like whenever I go to decorate my monthly layout, is it just wouldn't work for what I do. So, I mean, I started thinking about it some more. And excuse me, guys. So, yeah, we are going to do this in bits, just in case if I start having coughing fits. But, yeah, the whole gray squares for the days of the month that are not part of the current month, for the annual planners, it's just not gonna work for me. It may not be a big of a deal for like other planners, but it is for me. So, yeah. um, okay, so I was like, all right, so I'll just get a large size, weekly undated planner from them. But like, I can't find a design that I like, and I really like that Moonlight Rabbit one. And I'm not gonna like print off all of the undated weeklies and like sticky them or glue them into it. I mean, that would just get ridiculous and it would make it super bulky, which then like leads me into the next issue that I realized that I'm starting to have. And that's as the year goes, which if it would just like get like this, I'd be fine. But my planner is getting like real bulky, guys. Okay, like it's getting like, crazy. And again, like to me, this is that big of a like problem for me, because as we start going in, like the page is starting to round out and it's not laying flat, so I'm like constantly fighting this thing to write in it whenever I get to Wednesday, or if I'm on like this part of the week. And I only feel like it's just going to get like insanely worse as we make it to the end of the year. And that's whenever it got me realizing, like, okay, so happy planner planners didn't work for me because I was concentrating more on the decorative aspect of it instead of the functional. But they did have a thing with the disc. And I mean, like, I hate to say it, but the the whole disc format is actually pretty good, just because you can you know, take out your pages, remove them, work on them, and then put them back easily into the planner. And that you can also like print something off if you find like a PDF or something on Etsy, that like a printable that you want to use or insert into your planner. You can easily print it off, punch it, and then put it on the disc. So that's what I'm thinking of doing, guys. And my original intent was to just print off the undated version, like I said earlier, and I was just gonna punch it and make it disc bound. But then that's whenever I started thinking, like, I am finding that like I'm covering most of this up. I'm covering this up, even though this actually looks gorgeous. And so I was like, you know what? This does work for me, but maybe there's something else out there. So I came across Hemlock and Oak, and it was on like my Instagram feed and that. So let me go ahead and grab what I got from that, and I'll share it with you. Okay, guys, so I got my Hemlock and Oak printables, just because they don't sell it in stores, it's only online. And so I had to print the PDF off just to give it a quick view. But just as a comparison, so here's the Passion Planner Undated monthly view. So again, we got those white blocks. There's no shaded gray areas in the calendar, but we still have like all of this, which I do love these pieces, but it's just this right here. Like I'm constantly putting in white label paper and covering it up. So maybe that's why my planner's so bulky in that part. So here's a view of the hemlock and oak. And I'm hoping that it's dark enough for you like on the video that like you could see it, because this is a very crisp, clean, minimal design. So like maybe if I get up closer with it, but like you do have a shaded area for the days of the week, but it's very minimal, and I could easily cover that with a white, or not a white, but like a mild liner. So there wouldn't be any need for the white label paper, and the calendar boxes are all grid lined, and it's very smooth and clean looking. And they even have like a little taskbar area over here. So I mean, I can easily incorporate these and this part into this, and then since these are not grayed out, I can even turn these into like my checklist here, or I could turn it into like a habit tracker for the month. So I could easily fit like 30 in there. So I can, it's just so versatile, guys. So yeah, I instantly fell in love with this layout because it's crisp and clean. And I was like, okay, well, what do the weekly parts of it look like? And again, just to give you a just a general snapshot here. So let's get this out of the way. So this is the weekly undated version in the Passion Planner, which again, like I love this part down here. Like this has been very helpful. But again, I have the same issue with that I'm constantly covering this up and this up just because I want my planner to be colorful and bright. So this is what the Hemlock and Oak weekly looks like. And you do still have like the timeline going down, but it's not grayed out. So it's kind of giving me like a blank white canvas to work with. And again, the days of the week are lightly like grayed out. But again, I can easily cover that with even just a mild liner. I'm not going to need any white label paper. And there's this extra space down here, so I can easily turn that into my to-do list. I can easily convert these into these sections, or I could keep them as is, because I do love the front of the Hemlock and Oak, and how you're basing your planning on your values and creating goals from those values, and it just makes you more enticed to work on your goals. So, I mean, I do love like literally everything about this planner. Now, I know that's like a mouthful, guys. The issue with the Hemlock and Oak so far, because I have asked Tia, who is the creator of Hemlock and Oak, I have asked her on like a message from Instagram and that like, hey, I'm interested in your planner, but I noticed that it only comes in a 6.35 inches by 8.5 inches. So it's a very like oddly shaped thing. It's more of like a square, which, let me get the ruler out again. So we got like a 6.3, so this would be like a third of an inch. So, I mean, he's probably only about like that wide, and an 8.5 would be about half. So it's probably only about like that tall. So I'm going to say like maybe about like the size of this. I think that's all the bigger this thing is. And I mean, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. That's another thing that like caught my attention, because I do love the bullet journal setup with the ribbons and stuff. But like, yeah, it's It's super gorgeous, but it is an odd-shaped little critter, okay? So, I did convince myself that I am going to go ahead and purchase one. So I do use the daily for my budgeting, and I decided, you know what, like, I love the design of it, which I did choose the daily. I do not have a printout of the daily sheets. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use that as my budget planner for 2023. And I did pick out the evergreen just because, you know, green for money. So yeah, I did actually decide on that, but that still leaves me with the dilemma, like, what am I doing for my weekly planner, like my big size planner? But the good news is if you do decide that you like this layout and you're okay with the size difference, or that you want to do the daily too, or you just want to check them out, pre-orders for Hemlock and Oak are still available, and they are estimated to ship out in November. I believe it's November 20th. And yeah, I literally can't wait for this thing to arrive, and so that I could share the daily version with yins. And if you are interested in the Hemlock and Oak and you want to check it out or give it a try, feel free to use my link in the description down below for 10% off your 2023 planner. But now we're going to get back to what we're actually here for. And basically, guys, I need a planner for 2023. So I was like, okay, I like the guts from the Hemlock and Oak, okay? And if you ever say like H&O, or if you hear me say H&O, sorry guys, I'm still a little sick, okay, I'm on medicine. But if you hear me say H&O, I am referring to Hemlock and Oak. So I do like the guts of the Hemlock and Oak, okay? I do. I love everything about it. But I've also had success with Passion Planner, because this thing actually does gear me up to like do my goals and actually like not procrastinate. But I miss the disc from the Happy Planner. Okay, like I do. I miss being able to take my pages out and inserting things whenever I want to. And I mean, like, I got hundreds of these things laying around the house right now just because I had to buy them just to have them. So I was like, you know what? This is going to be the year where I take all of my old planners that are outdated and I'm just going to convert them. We are going to basically Frankenplan, guys. So I guess this is what Frankenplanning is, because you're taking multiple pieces of different planners and you're going to create one planner. So that's basically what this video is all about. So if you're interested in this, please stay tuned and I will show you how we're going to take bits and pieces of these planners and make one. Okay guys, so we're back, and this is the fun part of the video because this is when we get to take all of these things and excuse me, we get to combine them and actually start making this planner. So as you can see, I have my Happy Planner hole punch ready to go, because I'm going to need to punch these Hemlock and Oak PDF printable. I'm going to need to punch that out so that it fits into this planner. And I even dug around my stash a little bit more, and I found these gold metal disc by the Happy Planner that again I just had laying around. And yeah, so I'm gonna put that on this with this cover, and we're gonna start building a planner, guys. So let's go ahead and we'll remove the cover from this, and we're gonna need the back piece. I had to check there just to make sure I didn't have anything that I didn't want to share. It's been a while since I got to see this planner. It's been, again, since 2019. So we're gonna take this, and then we're gonna take these discs. Oh, that's a sound I haven't heard for a long time. And let's go ahead and start getting this together, which I never actually thought that like I would miss the disc from the Happy Planner, but sad to say I have. I do miss the versatility of being able to change and customize my planner. Mainly taking the pages out while I'm working on them. Again, I never actually realized how important that was, but yeah, it's very helpful when you're working in your planner. So let's get this on there. And I mean, hey, so since I'm going back to the disc format, I mean, I could also start trying to create different planner covers and get into that and add that to my Etsy shop. So, you know, there are some perks to the switch over here. And okay, so we almost have our cover made out. So that's my cover and the binding on a disc bound. So I'm going to set that off to the side. And excuse me guys, again, I am rolling through a cold right now. It's like never ending. So this is the Hemlock and Oak. Again, they provide a free PDF that's on their site. And I originally just planned on like printing off 2 copies of it. Or not 2 copies of it. Oh my god, no. I planned on just printing off 2 sheets, like the weekly format, just to see like how it would go in that, and that's when I fell in love with it. And if you're curious on what type of paper I used, because paper is really one of the most important things in your planner, because we don't want no bleed through, but yet you want a smooth writing surface. The type of paper, which as you can see I pretty much annihilated this pack, the type of paper that I like to use when I'm doing printables for my planner is the HP Premium Choice Laser Jet. And I know a lot of you are like, I don't have a laser printer, I have a desk jet. Guys, I printed this off with my desk jet, so it does work in the desk jet. And the thing that I like about it is the first off, the brightness of the page. Like this is like a white on your pages, so it doesn't have like a gray or a yellow tint to it. And I also like the thickness of these. So it's definitely heavier than regular copy paper, and it just, again, it has like that very smooth finish to it, which I think is the laser jet part of it, because I believe that's how the laser printers work. But just to give you a quick view, which, let me grab it. Didn't think I would actually need this, but you know, I do want to give you a view of it. So this was me doing like just a weekly test on it. But so as you can see, it took the mild liner good, the pen writes on it good, and the thing that I like the most about it is that, which, yeah, that got dirty, that was on the kitchen table, but there is very minimal bleed through with the mild liners in the pen that I use. And that is something that is very important to me, because I don't want it showing through on, you know, the page on the back. And I believe this is probably as accurate as I can get in showing you the difference in the page size of this planner, which again is why I printed off the PDF. But like, this is the full sheet, and I just did the actual size when I printed it out. And I believe this would be as close as you could get to what the actual size of their planner is. So this is like way too small for me. So I do need a larger size, just because I write really big and I add a lot to my planner. But as you can see with the HP Premium Choice Laser Jet paper, the thickness is good. There's minimal bleed through to like no bleed through. And it just gives you that nice writing finish. So, yes, yeah, I've been sick for that long, guys. Last week I got sick. So, let's go ahead and get this out. And one thing I have learned from hole punching in the past, again, since this is sticker paper, we're only going to do like maybe 1 or 2 sheets at a time because it is very close to cardstock. But I do have to find a spot on here, which I think, because they do have the line marks, which makes it really nice, because I want these to be as close to being the same punch instead of like having my hole punches everywhere. So I think, should I make it to where I cover up this bottom line? But then that's up there too. Maybe right at the edge of this bottom line. And then you want to make sure that your paper is in as completely as it can go. And then you punch, guys. So see, we got the first punch. So we are 1 page in of 244. So let's see if we can do 2 sheets. So let's see here, I lined it up on the bottom of this. Again, we're going to make sure that everything is as close to where it is supposed to be, because we don't want a miss punch. Which it is a little bit trickier in shoving 2 of these in, and notice it is catching. So yes, guys, I am going to have to punch this 1 by 1. So instead of dragging in through that, I'm just going to demonstrate 1 more page here, and it looks like I'm going to be punching by myself for quite some time. But I will be right back whenever we are done. Which, the good news is since I do have the PDF, like if I do have like a miss punch, the pages are numbered so I can easily just print off another copy of it. So yeah, like we're a little bit slightly off. You're never going to get perfection with this. But hey, it's all going to go together. So again, I will return probably like whenever I'm like halfway through it, just to give you a glimpse, and we won't miss a step, guys. Okay, guys, so as you can see, I've made it through the monthly part. I'm now on to the weekly, but I thought that like it would be really important to show this because I know some of you, this may be your first time taking a printed project and punching it so that it can be disc bound. And I just want to show you that, like, yes, the miss punches do happen. They're not the end of the world if it is something that like you can just print off again. But like it does happen. Definitely when you're working with a thicker material such as this. So with this, I mean, I'm just going to turn this into a scrap piece of paper that I'm going to jot down notes on. And I just went ahead and just printed another copy of it. And we got the punch on it this time. So I'm going to insert this where it does actually go. And yeah, guys, so I've made it. Let's see here. I'm going to say we're about halfway through because we're nearing page 100. And this is 224. Lovely pages. So, and yeah, like my punches are very, very close. They're not perfect. Again, you're never going to get perfect with this. But this is good enough. It's going to fit in there and it's going to do what it's intended to do. So let me go ahead and just keep punching away here and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I have all 224 pages of this gorgeous planner finally punched and ready to be added into the actual planner. And the good news is I only accidentally incorrectly punched 1 page, so out of 224, that's not bad. That is actually pretty good for myself there. So let's see here. I do like building these from the back up. So let's see how close my hole punches were here. I was actually able to punch 2 sheets at a time, which again, it's been almost a year since I've tried putting pages into a disc bound, so bear with me for my followers who do currently use a disc bound. I am not as quick as I used to be with these, but I'm sure it will come back. It's probably because I'm like just adding pages to it right now too. So if I remember, they were a little floppy when you were just starting to add pages. So let's see here. I got those in. So these need to go in. Why are you not going in? Oh, please don't tell me I have to insert these one at a time too. I believe we're like already 2 hours into this. So again, this is like a whole day project. For me at least. Things never really are simple. Okay, so see, we still got that nice smooth glide. So I am going to break these down into smaller chunks here. I think once like it gets some stability to it, since I don't really have a lot of sheets on here, I think it will get easier to attach them to the disc. Because that definitely seems like it was easier than the first one. So again, guys, we're building a planner, man. We're starting with an HP or a Happy Planner base. So the Happy Planner cover and a Happy Planner disc. I'm using Hemlock and Oak planner pages or guts right now. I always call them planner guts because it's the guts of your planner. And we're just slowly inserting these into the planner, which so far it's looking good. These pages also feel like amazing. Again, I came across that printer paper kind of by accident, and I'm just very pleased with it. Again, any of my planner inserts that I've ever made or used was always printed on this paper. It has never let me down. So let's see here, where are we at? 153. So we're close to having half of it in there. And the next part of this would be trying to figure out how we're going to incorporate the dividers, because I do want to bring those back as well, but I'm not quite sure yet how we're going to do that. But where there's a will, there's a way, so we will figure it out, because I don't want that whole entire planner from 2019-2020 to go to waste. So we are going to figure out how to use everything from it. Let's see here. Oh, we're making it to the monthly part, so I have all the weeklies in there. Which, it was really cool that Hemlock and Oak actually did provide a free PDF version of their planner, just, you know, to give it a try in that. And like I said, I really did fall in love with it, and the layout, and the minimal design, once I did print it out and gave it a try. It's just, I need the large size. If the size of the planner didn't matter to me, like, we would not be doing this. I would have just ordered one and sat and waited. But, like, again, I am very super excited for the daily to arrive, because I mean, that thing is absolutely gorgeous. And I know it's a budget planner, but like, I really can't wait or I cannot wait to start using it. Ooh, now you know the secret to why I do voiceovers. Because Sally can't talk whenever she's doing things. I don't know, I can't. But it's okay, guys, because look, we only got like 40 more pages to go. So, like, this really isn't the difficult part. The difficult part is taking all the pages and punching them. To me, that's just seems like it takes forever. But, I mean, it didn't really take that long now that I think about it, but could have been doing other things. But I'm building a planner. And I'll actually be able to do like a flip through whenever we're done too, just so that like if any of you are curious and you still haven't headed over to the Hemlock and Oak website, I could do a flip through of what this planner all includes. Which, ooh, this is actually like a tight fit, guys. Probably because the paper is thicker. It's not cardstock, but it's not paper. It's like a sweet medium between the two. So, hoping these classic size discs make it. If not, I'm going to have to dig in and see if I have like extenders. Because I do like the metallic gold of it. So, there we go. Okay, so we have the outside of the Happy Planner. We added some metallic Happy Planner disc. Again, this is all stuff that I had just like laying around, guys. It's just a bunch of stuff. So, now let's see here. So, of course, you have your title page, which I love the quotes in their book too. These are wonderful. And you have an index page, and I love that things are like numbered and yeah, it's like page numbered. And it kind of gives like a bullet journal feel to it. So, of course, it starts with directions and a how-to guide, kind of similar to the Passion Planner. And I love the clean and minimal look of it. And the grid system, again, has that bullet journal feel to it, and it just helps you keep your writing nice, neat, and organized. So, the Hemlock and Oak starts off with a reflection. So you're going back to like key memories and times in your life of where like you just felt good, okay? Like you felt fulfilled, you felt satisfied, proud, that like again you were making progress and change. And from what I understood, because again I haven't actually filled this out myself, but the vibe that I'm getting is that like you're looking back to those key moments in your life and you're going to figure out how you got to that moment and you're going to try to duplicate it. So with this one, like you went with the past on those past pages, now we're going to be looking at like a future life, like an ideal life. So how you felt then and where you want to be. And this character traits right here, like I think this is definitely what got me, because let's see here. I know it's not exactly like identical to what they're trying to do, but as you can see, I am a nerd for the character strengths and virtues. Okay, so like the positive psychology thing, this is really what like started positive psychology, and I'm a sucker for character strengths, so I really do believe in these. Everybody has like at least, well, I mean everybody has all 24, it's just you have a varying degree of it if you actually like want to get into the details of it. But like if you could figure out what your actual character strengths are, at least your top 5, and you work on those and you use those to your advantage, you could pretty much like do anything. So I am a sucker again for the character strengths. So this page right here, this was really what got me, because I was just like, what? Like if I was going to make a planner myself, it would be this planner. So Tia, you beat me to it. but it's gorgeous and I love it. And again, I can't wait until I get my daily version. So again, like you're focusing on those core values, and your this is the other page that got me too. Is this is your mindset reframing, also known as like the negative thoughts here. These would be your renumerations. So these are like all the things that like you kind of tell yourself, or like they're just like those bad memories or just negative thoughts, like those really icky things that come to your mind when you get excited for something or you want to do something, and then out of the middle of nowhere that like creeper thought comes to the back of your mind and is like, nope, you can't do that because you're not good enough, or you don't have enough skill, you don't have enough talent, just things like that. So I like that it gives you a spot to put those, that if you have any that are frequent, and you can reframe them into a more positive or they stay neutral alternative. So it does help with the mindset reframing. So in one weird way, this planner is not just a planner, it's kind of like a therapy journal at the same time. And of course you have goal creation areas. So, and it's not just one, guys. So this is kind of like, I do want to take the passion roadmap and I do want to incorporate it into this somehow. But like this is where you take those little goals that you made on your roadmap, and you can break them down into individual goals, and then just create like little milestones or active areas. You're also explaining like why do you want this. I love that it gives you a chance to say what values does this goal support, because again, like if you're just doing a goal because you think other people want you to, it's not good enough. You have to really want it. And I love the timeline and the review. It's asking you like what habits you'll need, so if you gotta like build up any habits to get to those milestones. So it's almost like it took what was in the passion planner and it just extended it. So I really do love this goal creation. So you get 4. So you get 4 goals. So again, in a year, like you could have like the first quarter, second quarter, third and fourth. So that kind of works out and it's nice. And then you move into an attainable habits area. So I guess this kind of falls through with this one, is like, what type of habits do you need? So now you can start creating some habits from there. And then you could break them down even further in this. So again, it's not just a planner, guys. This is almost like a little therapy journal. It's so like, yeah, you're breaking down your habit. You're stating why is the habit important, like what's it gonna get you, what are you working towards, what are the specifics. I love the cue box, because a lot of people sit and say like, okay, right now my habit is I want to add more activity to my day, and the way that I was able to build that into my daily routine is that the cue is that I watch a specific show that is just for the exercise or activity time. I'm not allowed to watch it unless I'm on that elliptical. So that is the cue, is every day at 10 a.m. I watch one episode of that show, so it gives me 45 minutes of that habit. So that's my cue, is I know at 10 on that day that I'm going to be doing it. And again, like you have a reward area. So basically my reward is, 1, I get to watch my show, and 2, I get some active minutes. So let's see here. We got 2, 4. So you have 4 sheets. So that gives you 8 habits, because there's 2 per sheet. And again, if you want more habits than that, you can always just print another one of these off and insert it in. Of course, my ideal day. I love this. I never really do get the ideal day, hence why it's called an ideal day. It just never happens. But like you have 2 sides. So you can make one on the days that you work and like on a weekend. you could state like what's happening now to what you want. There's so many ways that you could actually like use this. And okay, so this is like important information that you have on hand. Okay, so I guess that's like a place where you could put passwords and stuff, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to use that for, but we'll figure it out. And this is the other part of this that, again, I absolutely fell in love with, is the 12-month planning. Now, if you do end up getting a dated version of it, it would have like January and then like a monthly layout on it. Again, like I don't even know why I enjoy the Undated as much, but I liked knowing that I could just put in what I wanted. So, I mean, I could use this as like a habit tracker. So, like, it surely gives me like enough days because there's enough days for the days of the month. So, I can put in for the month of January, and then for the plans, I could state like working on habit blah blah blah, and then use this as like a monthly tracker. I mean, I could always just fill it out as, you know, it's intended to, and just like keep my like future monthly goals, I guess, in this area. So I mean, again, it's such a minimal design that you can pretty much tweak this to any way that you need to. And okay, so then you have a monthly overview. So let's see, I think this is how they start out. So yeah, you start with a monthly overview, and like we would be saying, like for the month of January. So what can you do to get closer to your goals this month? What milestones are you focusing on? So that's going back to that goals. What personal values will you focus on this month? What boundaries will you set for yourself? So again, we're focusing on the personal values and the character strengths, and how you're going to incorporate them and use them to obtain your goals. And we're also focusing on how are you going to like promote self-care. So again, like I love this part of the planner because it's not really something that you really think about when you're heading into the next month. There is a section for 3 small positive ways you could carve out time for self-care. So that's pretty cool. That gives you 3 things to look forward to. And here we have another one habit that we want to create in the next 30 days. Aim for progress, not perfection. So you can sit and explain, like you could jot down what the habit is. Maybe you could print off like a little picture or something and stick it in there. But it gives you a 30-day tracker right there. And of course, a spot to list your reward. I also love this one full blank sheet for the month, like before you're even going into it. So again, like I'm just like, what am I gonna do with this? I don't know yet, guys. I don't. And then of course here's that monthly view that I showed you earlier, which is, I mean, I know it's minimal, but to me this is gorgeous. This is like perfection at its finest because I can do so many things to this page. And you end up with a monthly review after that. So not only do you get to look over the month before you're heading into it, you also get to review it and sit and say, okay, what were the good things that happened in there? What were the things that gave you energy for that month? What were the things that drained you? Okay. You're also writing down a lesson, a thought, a growth moment that you want to take away from the following or the previous month. And again, you get a blank sheet. This one is dated for memories and memos. So I could even create like a little mini vision board of that month. So it's kind of like a little memory planner kind of built into it. And then, of course, you go into another monthly overview, which we've already done. And it takes you to the following month. So, since you've already seen the monthly overview of this, I'm not going to drag you through all 12. They are all pretty much the same. And then you get a cute little quote at the top of these pages, which is one of the things I love from Passion Planner. But again, guys, like, I got so tired of covering up like all of the dark areas on the page, and as you can see, there is nothing that needs covered up on these. These are just absolutely gorgeous on their own. So it's going to be nice to know that I don't have to go through all of that. Okay. Alright guys, so we got a quick little intermission there. Had to run some errands, had to drink some collagen, had to, try to get the sickness out of me. But we're gonna go back to this flip through that we were doing. So as you can see, like, we are into the weekly section of it. And I am digging the fact that the weekly section of this thing is like almost dead spot on in the center. So it does give it like a very nice, gorgeous layout there. And again, from like what we've seen from the beginning of this video when I first brought these out, is it is a very minimum design. It's very lightly shaded gray at the top. You might not even be able to see that. I'm not quite sure how much the lighting like actually gives you the color. But like, you just have the same area of the week of up here at the top, so that's similar to Passion Planner. Of course, you have your Monday through Sunday, and there is like a little focus area up here at the top, but it doesn't say focus on on like every single day of the week. So, which is nice because again, I'm loving this minimalist design. You have an area for your weekly goals. Again, you're focusing on the values, like what values are you using for that week, and then a task area. So it's very similar to Passion Planner, but it is different. But I'm liking the difference of it. And just to kind of give you like an overview of what it looks like, is you're just literally going from the weeks. So all the months are in the front of the undated version. I can't really answer for the dated version. I don't know if the months go with the weeks, but this would seem to be like the biggest issue that I'm going to have when I'm putting these together, because I do want to incorporate the dividers from this Happy Planner in here. So I guess I'm going to have to figure out where those weeks do overlap and then put them in accordingly. So it is gonna, like, I would have to take the divider out or just like move it over back a page when I do reach that week, because I don't want the divider like in between my weeks. But hey, it's on disc and it's easily removable. But this way I could do a quick flip through in my planner and know where I'm at within the year. And with this, we shouldn't end up with that unevenness of the bulkiness of it. And again, like, I'll be able to take the pages out and work on them and put them back in. So that is definitely something that I did miss whenever I switched over to the Passion Planner. So, okay, there we go. So we've made it to the end of the weekly layout. And it takes you into a 12-month reflection area. So it gives you a chance to create a list of 5 to 10 memories where you felt fulfilled, excited, challenged, or satisfied. So that's within that year. We're reviewing a value statement. So I'm guessing we made a value statement in the beginning of this. And we're reflecting on if that value statement still holds true, or if we need to reevaluate it. Have your values changed? Which they do. Like, you do have some that like stay with you for your entire life, and then there's other ones that you will modify or grow into or grow out of during your lifespan. So I do like this part here because it does check to see, like, are you still the same person at the beginning of the year? Most likely not. List 5 people or things that you're especially grateful for in the last 12 months. So that's nice. Those are like your little yearly heroes right there. And then after the reflection, it looks like we're in a looking ahead area. So this is like game planning for the next year. So what is one action that you could take in the next 12 months that will help you fulfill one of your values? How can you show love towards your friends, family, or partner in the future? And if there was one thing you could make happen in the next 12 months, what would it be? So I do really like this because this is kind of like the game changer roadmap type thing, just in a more minimal design. I can always print off like a grid sheet and just create like a roadmap to go with that, or like a vision board. Um, List 10 things that you want to make happen by this time next year. So that's kind of cool. So you're already like game changing. So you're like goal planning for the next year, I guess, whichever term you like. Um, Self care directory. Create a self care directory sorted by length of time and refer to it when you're feeling burned out. So, yes, I do need this because half the time I just nap, which napping is fine, but you know, I do need something to go towards. Looking ahead that you could take into next. So yeah, no, this is definitely for the previous year. I just wanted to make sure that those weren't for like the year we're working on. So that's my self-care go-to. A media directory. So those are like all the movies and books and stuff that you want to watch and read, but you can never remember what it was because you didn't have time for it. So now you can actually create a list for it. So that'd be really nice to make one of those. Oh, a wish list. What do you want to reward? So these are like future rewards. So that's kind of cool. I actually did do this in one of my previous happy planners. I believe that was 2020 or 2021. I did create my own wish list and a bucket list. So what experiences would you like to have? So that's kind of cool. It gives you 10 spots for that. And then you just got regular grid papers. And this is your notes area. So this is where I could create like that book log and stuff that I've been doing. Could do many things with these. Pen test. But it looks like you get a generous amount of note pages. And of course it ends on another Hemlock themed quote. So I love it, and I love Robert Frost. So there we go, guys. So that's the general flip through of what it looks like if you take Hemlock and Oak guts and you put it in a happy planner with happy planner disc and cover. But we're not done yet because this would just be too easy. I wish we were done, but we're not. So if you remember from the beginning here. Whoop. Oh, planner paper just fell everywhere. Okay, give me one moment, guys. Fleeting chaos in the background. Okay. If Williams knew what my planning station actually looked like. So these were the original guts that were in this cover. And I do need to figure out how we're going to get this in here. So I know I want to keep these for sure. And let me go to one that I haven't used. I know I didn't use March. So yeah, got a planner, like used like 1 or 2 months out of it. I think I used it for 1 month. The second month I was like, eh. But then again, remember this was 2020, guys. So it does kind of make sense. Okay, so I know I want to keep these. I'm not really going to have a need for any of this because one, it would have like the wrong dates. Okay, so how are we going to incorporate this into this? So I guess I wouldn't need this. Like, would it make sense if okay, let's see how this looks here. which I know I would have to create like a mini calendar to put on top of that. But like if I put these back to back like that and then glued them and then made this my divider sheet. That is a possible. Or do I just want grids on the back of them and then I could do what I want, like a master list type thing? Because I don't want to lose this. I know I'm going to have to redate those, but I really don't want to lose this because I think that these are so freaking cute. Can't remember if I... No, I didn't. I didn't use the one for January, so thank God. Do I just want to... Do I need that extra page for something? That's basically what it is. It's what it's coming to. Because I do like how they look when they're side by side like that. But then again, do I just want the divider to pull it out? And guys, the dilemma that we're in. So this is where we really got to think about this. What would I... Because I mean, I could always just leave this as is. What is on the back of this one? Yeah, this is definitely used. Wow, has my planning changed? Okay, so we're definitely gonna have... Yeah, because if I glue those back to back, then none of that matters. Then I'll be gluing that back to back. And then we still gotta figure out what we're gonna use these guts pages for. So, it looks like that is the next step of the journey, guys, is I think I'm just gonna create one big divider. And ooh, look at that. That's when I first opened up my shop. So, this is going to go on to this. So cozy for January. And then, like I said, I can always doctor that up as needed. I mean, I'm already doing it now, so there's no difference. And when I do glue these, I do like having them in the book as I'm gluing. Then that way I know that the little hole punches are going where they're intended. So, almost feels like a waste here, but hey, it did its purpose whenever I was using it. So let me find some of my glue tape and let's see if we could get this thing put together. Okay guys, so I think the Tombow adhesive permanent, it's not the removable one, so I think that we're gonna go ahead and give this a try. Again, this is just a planner that was just chilling out on my shelf, so if I mess it up, I mess it up, right? So let's go ahead. Do I want to do those while I'm at it? And I think I do. So let's take this out. Sally's about to make a mess everywhere. It's been a while since I've had to use one of these. Can't remember if how well I liked it. I know I like the little mini ones. This larger size one seems to be a tad bit more difficult to get going. Well, like I said, let's see what we can create, guys. I do feel like I have to dig pretty deep with this one. But I do want to make sure that I got enough sticky, because I don't want my pages coming undone halfway through the year. I mean, I could always just take Scotch tape, but where's the fun in that? Like I said, you gotta dig to get the right pressure with this thing. All I want is the glue. Did I already run out? Oh, maybe I run out, guys. Okay, so we're gonna let's proceed with this. That's what we're doing. Okay, so let's get this back on the disc, because again, I've found that it does help when you've got the disc on there. It helps it line up. Okay. And now we're just going to give it a nice push. And smooth that out. Which again, this is the Happy Year style creation from the Happy Planner. I loved it. I fell in love with all of these designs. They were just so stinking cute. Got a little bit on my mat. Hoping that clears up. But there we go. So, alright. There is one. So, let's go back to our Hemlock and Oak. And I mean, at least January is pretty easy to do here. Well, I guess those are all that I want to do it for the weeklies. Or do I just want to do the monthlies? Now, could it be in between the... We're going to stick with where the weeks are. Okay, and like I said, I could always just push it back a week whenever I get to that. But okay, so that's given us January. Now let's actually get the proper calendar. And we're going to use a fancy one, guys. Okay, so here's my work calendar. So if we're in the month of January, January 1st is actually a Sunday. So this would get us, that would be the week of the 1st. Oh man. See, that's how minimal this is, guys. I am still on the months. Where's the weeks? Okay, here's the weeks. Okay. So this one, this would be the 1st. Because since it's a work calendar, it only shows Mondays. So this would be the 2nd, the 9th, 16th, 23rd, and the 30th. So this is whenever January should be switching over. Okay, which I ended up with a random chunk of washi. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing here. Do have to get a refill from a Tombow. I can't believe that I actually ran out that fast. gotta find somewhere to store this guy. Okay, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna combine those to make a February divider. I knew I bought a ton of these refills for a reason, so let's see if I can figure this out here. So yep, yeah, he did run out, so I'm guessing that's done with. And this guy should just plug and play onto this one. Okay, now we're back in business. Put that down by where the trash is. And again, we're just gonna do the same thing, guys. Gonna have glue everywhere. But it is a lot, well, a lot less messier than if you'd be working with like runny glue. And I don't seem to be pressing as hard with this one, so maybe it was just the original. Maybe I spoke too soon. Don't know, guys. Okay. So now the trick is getting it to flip where you need it. And again, we're just gonna press and smooth that sucker out. I always try to get in between the disc. It is nice knowing that, like, I get to use this. Like, it's not just gonna be sitting on the shelf anymore. Okay. So, you know, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just make these, and then we're going to put them in the planner that I was making. So, let's just keep going here. Still can't believe that this planner is from 2019, 2020. Maybe I could come up with some like box stickers or something that I could put in that. Cover up the old dates. See guys, I know you all got old planners laying around. Because I know there's always those planners that we thought we had to buy and we really didn't. So you can always repurpose an old planner. And it helps save money too. Helps save resources, helps save that extra paper. And it saves your wallet. And again, I do apologize for my cough. Oh my God, what'd I do? Guys, what'd I do? How did I end up doing this? Oh, I glued the wrong sheet to it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so well, let's find out how good this permanent adhesive is, because I wasn't expecting that. Only third one in, messed up. Okay, it's okay. Everything is fine. Let's just try to... Oh, it's a good thing I don't need the back of this. Oh, this poor paper. Don't think it's going to do anything to the divider, though. So, the divider is really the part that we need. So as long as we don't injure that part, we should be good. So, one thing that we are learning is the Tombow adhesive, when it says permanent, I mean, it is pretty tricky to pull this off of here. It is definitely, definitely destroying the piece of paper that I put on. As much as I don't want to, because I love laughing, I got to try my best not to laugh about this, guys, because it'll start a coughing fit. Creating a mess. That's what we're creating. I mean, I could have just glued on top of the wrong page, but like, I want to try to reduce the thickness of this planner since it is already pretty thick. So we're gonna try to get as much of this off as possible, as much as the adhesive will let me. Really was not expecting that though whenever I flipped the page, because it was like, hey, wait a minute, where's the page that I want? So again, guys, like, we're all gonna make mistakes when we do this, so you just gotta learn to take it in stride and laugh about it, and then learn from it. So we're definitely going to make sure we know where we're putting that page when we put this in here. And again, it's a good thing, like, I didn't have my heart set on these pages, because that could have been bad. Could have been really bad. But no real loss, because the 2 sheets that I want are still in here. They're still intact. So let's see here, that is really sticking good there. So like I said, I mean, never thought about testing how strong the adhesive is, but as you can see, once you glue that, I mean, that thing's it's gonna be on there. You gotta really fight to get it off of the page. Okay, I would say that that is good enough. Let me throw this away. I didn't cough a lot in the background. Okay, so this is the page I want. And this is the page that I want. So let's go ahead and glue again. But like I said, at least now we know, like, Tombow adhesive is pretty tough. What you're gluing is going to be staying there unless you physically remove it. But again, if it's like pages that you care about, I highly do not recommend it, because it will destroy one page. So I wish this thing would glide a little bit smoother than what it does. Normally Tombow is really good, so maybe I just don't know how to use mine, as you can tell. But yeah. Okay, so we got the right pages this time. Lightly layer that down, and we're gonna press. 3 months in, I already made a mistake. I hope that's not how 2023 goes. I would like to have a good year. Would be nice. Okay, so now we got the proper suit on. Seriously, still can't believe I did that, guys. That's great. Okay, so we got April. notice I got the divider. This is the sheet that I'm gluing to. Gonna learn from our mistakes. So yes, we want that flipping over there. And I am gonna move some stuff that is on my chair because it is definitely in the way. Planner chaos. And we're just gonna keep gluing because, like I said, I really want these dividers. I love these illustrations. I love the seasonal looking vibe. They're fun and cute. I'm gonna have to say, I'm liking the fact that, like, I got everything on the divider. Then that way I can remove it and work on it. And always wants to come up right about here. So, okay, so we got our X made. Try to line those holes up here as best as possible. And smooth this out. Okay, no surprises. Okay, so I got April. Let's see here, May. Just so pretty. I love that color of pink. Okay, now we're gonna double check again. Okay, so I got the divider. I got the back. We are not ripping and tearing again, guys. We are gonna focus on what we're doing. I think I was just so excited that I was gluing it together. Who knows? So, let's get this going. I really can't wait to see what this looks like after everything's put together. This is the first time of where I'm like building a planner, so I'm pretty excited over that. It looks to be about right. Okay, smooth. Okay, so we got April and May. Now we're going to June. Summertime. And again, like, I know I'm going to have to redate this somehow. I'm going to have to redate these. I'm not going to be recording students' birthdays, so that's something else. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of doctoring up to this. We're just basically getting the guts of this ready to go. I like how I like a minimal planner design, and then I'm like, let's add a bunch of color. So, yeah. It is definitely going to be a one of a kind when I'm done here. And it's just nice knowing that you're using a planner that has been taking up space on your shelf. I just seriously can't believe how many of these things that I bought in the beginning. Like, I got so many of them. Your glue is sticking again, guys. Okay. Tombow, don't you let me down. Okay, now lining them up again. This is always the part that makes me nervous, because you saw how sticky that glue gets. Don't want to upset the glue. So let's see here. I am getting some on my backdrop. No surprises. Okay, so May, June. Now we're rocking into July, which feels so far away. But it was just July a couple months ago. So time does fly, guys. It flies. Okay. Just gonna keep on keeping on. Which you'll have to let me know in the comments down below if any of yous have ever put your own planner together. Like, is this something that you do every year? Is this something that you've always wanted to do and like decided against it? Like, you'll just have to let me know. Like, have you ever found yourself liking more than one planner and then not being able to decide on them? Or liking one part of a planner and another planner and then putting them together? Okay. That one was a little uneven, but you're not going to be able to notice once it's surrounded by pages. Okay, so now we had, what was that, July. So now I need August, and some of you may noticed that they don't line up, and it's because this was originally, I think it's a 2019 to a 2020, because it is a teacher edition. But as you can tell, I was already messing with it. I just had to have the happy year. I had to. And of course it turned out to be this year. So, yeah. Oh well. It's getting used. And the whole lineup of the months going down the side, that doesn't bother me at all. It's one thing I really don't pay attention to in my planner. So that we are good with. This would have been like a wonderful teacher planner though. Like, this would have been great. Pretty much had everything that you needed in it for your classroom notes and plans. It would be really nice to make your plans and just like plug them on in. So that's the nice thing about this hole punch. Almost done, guys. So close I could start to feel it now. Okay. Okay, so I have August. And again, these are by no means perfect. Not even close, but they're going to serve their purpose, and it would be a lot more crooked and uneven if I wasn't using the method that I'm doing now. So yep, we're doing good. Let's just keep on with our gluing. Like I said, if for some reason this glue doesn't hold, I can always take just regular glue if I want to glue it together that way. Or I could take clear Scotch tape. Why does this do this to me? Oh my god, I already ran out. Guys, I ran out again. That was a full size refill. Okay. Well, now, if you've ever wondered how long one of these will last, it's not too long. So, you got another. Like I said, I got plenty of these chilling on my shelf too, so might as well put them to use instead of letting them sit and collect dust. See if I can put this thing together. Okay, we good? We are good. Okay, so now we know why it was running out of glue. Okay. Runs nice and smooth when it's fresh. See if I bump that up against the disc and then bump this one up. Let's see if that helps line it up anymore. Okay, September 2019. Can't even remember what I was doing. And oh, my favorite, October. Okay, guys. Which, oh my god, they're so cute. It's almost a shame that I'm covering them up, but I mean, I got to use the dividers, guys. I got to. I think I would have to wait until like 2032 or something before I was able to use this planner with the dates given. If I remember that correctly, I think it's like every 10 years, every 10 or 11 years you could reuse your planner. So I'm not waiting that long. As you can tell, I'm getting lazy, so I am sitting down as I'm filming this now, so the lines are definitely not as straight as they were. Okay, we're gonna push that into the disc, which that is gorgeous. I love that color of foil. It's beautiful. And I can't wait to see those guys. I'll be seeing you in a year. So, that one came out as it should. And now we just need November. I'm still trying to think of what to do with these sheets. There's gonna be a way to reuse them. Okay, so that's my November. Almost there, guys. We just got November and December. And then we can finally put these in the planner that we're building. And like I said, I don't want to waste these other sheets. So we gotta think of what we can use them for. Okay, so I'm going to bunch that up against the disc. And then the same rule applies with this one. You bunch it up. And then it should lay as close to evenly as possible with the sheet. So see? Almost divided up. And now what do I have? December. Oh, look at all the discs, guys. Okay. Last and final one. Now I'm basically like left with a notebook. Definitely destroying the thing underneath my planner. Getting glue all over it. I have to see if I could scratch that off. Maybe use some of the unglue. Okay, get that lined up. And okay. Whew. Look at how many steps we're working with on this one. So let me try to get this thing as close to possible as to the beginning again. That way, then see, you can see how long I've had that HP paper, because this one right here was printed. This is an original, this is the HP. So I have been using that for quite some time now, guys. So let's put the cover down on this one, because I do got some of the glue on there. I don't want it getting on my pages. And let's bring out that handy dandy school calendar. I'm gonna set that in front of me so that I can keep track of what we're doing with the dividers. So this is the week that January turns into February. So that must mean you're the 30th of January then. So that would make this the 6th, 13th, 20th, 27th, and then this turns into March. Okay, so if this is the 27th, then this would be the 6th, 13, 20, 27. But this is April 1st. Okay. So again, that's going to be the 27th. So that would make this the 3rd, the 10th, 17th, 24th, and it looks like May starts on a Monday in 2023. So we're just gonna put this one here. Okay, so if this is 1, this will be 8, 15, 22, 29. Then we'll be moving into June. Whew. Okay, so now that means that this one is the 5th, 12th, 19th, 26th, and June ends on a Friday. So this would actually be July 1st here. Okay, so now I have to get another calendar, because again, I'm working on like a school calendar. It ends in June. So that isn't going to take us anywhere further than that. So, bringing out the calendars. Wonder if I have a yearly view on my phone. I do. Okay, so we've made it to June. So that means the 1st of July is a Saturday. Making sure we're in the right month here. Okay, so this would be the 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, and the 31st. So July ends on a Monday, which would then get us to August. Okay, so now this makes this the 7th, 8th. Nope. Wow, guys, I was just like reading off the days there. Okay, so August, that makes this the 7th, 14th, 21st, and the 28th. And then we get September. And I'm hoping that you're seeing like the quality of this HP paper, like as I'm turning it, like this is some pretty good paper here. Okay, so the 4th, the 11th, 18th, 25th, and October starts on a Sunday. Okay, so then that gets me to the 2nd, the 9th, 16th, 23rd, the 30th, which gives us Halloween on a Tuesday. Woo! Okay, so now we're in November 6th, 13, 20, 27th. Gets us to December, and I'm telling you right now, I better have enough weeks, guys. I am not recounting this. So let's see if we do actually get enough weeks out of the year. So I would need the 4th, the 11th, the 18th. Oh! So I do need one more, because we have the 25th to the 31st. Oh, now, do I let myself learn that, like, later on? Because I think what got me was the beginning, just because January ends, or starts on a Sunday, so that means that I'm going to have this thing. Yeah, because I'm not starting a planner on, like, January 2nd. That would just be stupid. Should I make that Sunday? Because that would give me exactly enough weeks. So that means the undated PDF gives you one last week, guys. And you know, I think I'm just going to go ahead and print it off. I'm just going to print it off now, and I'm just going to punch it. So give me one moment. Okay, so I went ahead and just printed off this. When you do go to punch your holes, make sure you do have the proper days. Or the proper alignment, I guess. And good thing that it is undated. And again, the tricky part with the hole punch is that you want to make sure that everything is pushed back as far as it can go first. And then once you're lined up, you just punch. So I am going to have to say, I did actually miss that part. And I love the fact that it lays flat. There's no more bubbling. That is nice, and that gives me that extra week in December that I needed, because, like, at first I wasn't going to, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I think I would be pretty upset here in 52 more weeks if I realized that I was too lazy to print that off. So we are printed, we are ready to go, and it is actually, like, looking like a planner, guys, because I got all my tabs off to the side. Again, like, they're not going to line up perfectly just because of the type of planner that it was and how much I've already messed with it. But it is nice to have that minimal week layout, but I have this cute, fun, happy planner design in the, you know, on my dividers. Can't wait to see what I'm going to do with these. It's a little too far ahead for that for me right now. Not quite sure what else I want to do to this. Pretty sure that there are still some Passion Planner inserts, like mainly their worksheets and stuff. Like, I do want to incorporate that. I know I'm going to be adding in the Game Changer goal. I know that's going to be in here. But I am digging having a, like, an index page, because this is definitely going to help me flip through this thing. So, like, if I know that I need to find my ideal day, it's on page 20. so I can easily find it. I'm not digging through a book, you know, like I know where it's at. I have a table of contents. So I think I'm gonna leave the video at that. As I said, I know I'm gonna be adding Passion Planner stuff in there. I love their the to-do list and like the game changer type thing. So I know that's gonna be going into this. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna say for like me building this by myself, I'm pretty impressed with it. It does have all the things that I like in a planner, such as the being disc bound and being able to take the pages out when I want to. Digging having the dividers back. I did miss those. And less, you know, not to forget, is this sleek minimal design that is from Hemlock and Oak. And again, I'm going to have all the links in the description down below. If you're interested in any of these planners, I'm going to have links down there to provide for you. And again, I just want to close out by saying thank you so much for watching, guys. I know that this was a very long video, but I do greatly appreciate any views, any comments. It's always nice to hear from you, and I just want to wish you a wonderful rest of your day.